Welcome to the live stream. Another live stream about my honest opinion about the new synths that came out. And it's a Model D version synth, but a very small one. And of course, for those who knows my channel or follow me, I made a few videos about that Model D that I had. And I was quite surprised by the sound that it's produced. So in this case, I was also surprised they came out with another Model D version synth, but very small. But there was also one issue, and that's also why I don't have it anymore in my studio. And that was not the sound, because the sound sounds fantastic. And I know because I also played on a Mini Moog, and they are exactly the same. They're sounding the sound of the Model D and the Mini Moog. They put them, if you put them together, they sound exactly the same. So the sound-wise, it's one of those best synths that Behringer brought out, and now they bring it also out in a smaller version with some other features on it, new features. Where we going to that a little bit later here. So I'm very curious about this synth. It's a very cheap one. Like I said, it cost here in Europe 100 euros. So not so expensive. So for those who want to buy this one, it's a very small, easy to have that in your studio, and it's not so expensive. So yes, if someone asks me, is this a synth that's okay to have? I said yes, because the sound is very nice. The only thing that the issue was on the Model D was that it was not stable. When you turn it on, it took, I think, 20 minutes, almost a half hour before the oscillators are stable and not out of tune. And then even then, after 20 minutes, they go out of tune also, but a little bit then. So it was not a stable synth. And I think also, but that's my end conclusion when I finish this live stream, of course. Do I buy it, yes or no? That's the question, of course. And also, do I recommend it? For the sound, yes, but the rest we will see. So when I'm looking at when you're looking to the synth, you will see it's very small, very much smaller than the Model D. But you also see there is a MIDI keyboard. There is a keyboard on this one. Is it necessary to have this keyboard? I don't think so, but I think they put it on because you use it also for the menu. You must dive into the menus, and I think they use this keyboard also as your MIDI menu keyboard. So you use it also not only for playing, but also for using it for your menus in this synth. That's why. Excuse me for that. So what you also have a MIDI keyboard, and what I also saw is there is a sequencer also in the synthesizer. Two features that you don't have it on the Model D. So that's also interesting. But for the rest, it's of course very compact, lots compacter than the Model D. And I found that also, it was a small synth also. I have also the Model 32 from Moog, and that's bigger than the Model D. The Model D is smaller than the Moog Model 32. And this one is smaller. I have some space here, so maybe I'm gonna buy it, but that's my end conclusion. I cannot say it now. But we also have some specifications on that synth, and can show you that. No, they are here. What do you also have? An arpeggio, going for the first one, of course. It's a compact and an analog synthesizer, so that's also very great to have that. It's an analog synthesizer with a classic mono sound and more of that Moog model, Mini Moog sound, of course. It calls the Mini instead of the Mini Moog. This one is the Mini, the D Mini. For all those who just came into the live stream, welcome, and feel free to leave a comment in the chat. Or if you have a question, or if you are familiar with this synth, just let me know. I'm quite curious about the other, because if I want to buy this, I want to know your opinion, of course. Not only my opinion counts, also your opinion. So please let me know if you have the same synth or if you buy that. So what do we have also? We have also 3 voices. So this one is polyphonic. Instead of the Model D, is not polyphonic. This one is polyphonic. That means that you can play more than one sound on it, but it's 3 voice polyphonic. That's not a lot, but it adds some on for your sound. It's more than the Model D. It cannot do that. You have also 6 voice modes. You can modulate 6 voices, and you have also on each oscillator 6 mini Moog waveforms, the same waveforms that you have also on the Model D and on the Mini Moog, of course. And I think there were, when we go into that, when we see the pictures of the synth, you have also the noise generator with white and pink noise. A ring modulator is also a feature that you have on this synth that you didn't have that on the Model D. So polyphonic, a ring modulator. Those are 2 features that you have on this synth that you don't have that on the Model D. The 24 dB low pass filter, of course, and that's one of my favorite filters in this case. I stay with that, the 24 dB filters. They're fantastic sounding filters. An ADS envelope is, instead of the ADSR, you must choose between the resonance and the decay. In this case, are you sure that it's a paraphonic synth? Because on the specification they say it's a polyphonic instead of paraphonic. As I don't know if there are people familiar with paraphonic and polyphonic. Polyphonic, that means where each voice has its own filter, envelope generator, and the filter it's on its own. Instead of the paraphonic, it has 3 voices, but they go to 1 filter, 1 envelope generator. Oh, thank you. If you so. Then they put it not correct on the specifications, because the last video that I saw, they call it polyphonic. So it's paraphonic. Thank you very much. As you see, it's a paraphonic and not polyphonic. Thank you very much. Then you have also the LFO with 4 waveforms and a reset. What do you also have? Okay, thank you. It's paraphonic and not polyphonic, so excuse me for that. But that's also the reason why we do this video, to share our opinions. So if we want to buy that, then we know what we're buying. I think I want to buy that, but I must be sure, is it paraphonic, polyphonic? That's a big difference, of course. Like I said, paraphonic, that means there is 1 filter, 1 envelope generator. Polyphonic, each voice, in this case 3. There are 3 filters, 3 envelope generators for each voice, and that makes a difference in the sound. Okay, thanks. You can also follow the chat, so to exchange our opinions and ideas, of course. What do you also have here in this? You have an arpeggiator that you have on this synth. You don't have that on the other Model D. What you also have, a step sequencer even then. So you have a step sequencer with 10 patterns. You have an arpeggiator. Both features, you don't have that on the Model D. A metronome even. A motion sequence recording of control movement. That means when you're recording your sequence, you can also record all your movements if you tweak the filter, I think. If you tweak the filter, then it will also record that. They put a lot in that synth. Such a small synth, and even then a metronome, and then 27 keyboard. That is only, they use it only for that menu diving, and that's all. But you can use it as a keyboard. But if you ask me, I'd say use a MIDI keyboard. That's the best thing that you can do. One thing I don't know is it velocity sensitive, and is it aftertouch sensitive? Do you can you use the aftertouch and the velocity sensitive? Do someone knows if it's have those two capabilities to read also the velocity and the aftertouch? And that if you're using a MIDI keyboard instead of that mini keyboard that it's on the synth. Extensive MIDI implementation, I think there is, because if there is a MIDI input that's for your keyboard, I think there is, but it will be rare. It was not sensitive or aftertouch. It will be rare. Then you have also sync in and out. That's also USB-C for the power and a USB MIDI. I'm not a fan of the USB-C, but that's it. Of course, for that price, what do you want? And a USB MIDI. I don't know. I have the Roland TR-08, and it has also that USB-C and USB MIDI. And when I'm using that instead of my MIDI in and out, there is lots of noise. So I don't know if with this synth, if you ask my opinion, don't use that USB-C. Use that only for your power, but not for your MIDI. That's all that you have on this synth. Going to the pictures of the synth. That's the front of the synth. What do you see also? That's that MIDI keyboard. And as you see, there are lots of commands on those keys. That means that this keyboard will be also used as keys for diving in your menus, of course. That's normal. What you also have is those are the waveforms that you can find on the Model D and also on the Mini Moog. A triangle, a saw triangle, a sawtooth, a square wave, a pulse wave, and a narrow pulse wave. There is no pulse wave modulation on this synth. That was also not on a Model D and also not on the Mini Moog, of course. Can you make a modulation? Yes, you can. If you're choosing your two oscillators and set them a little bit out of tune, then you have also a modulation of your... you can go around that. So there is a way to go around that. You have here your noise, your filter modulation, of course, your cutoff knob, then emphasis and the amount that you want to have for your filter. Then your attack, decay, and sustain, and then you can choose between release or decay, because that's always also on the Mini Moog and also on the Model D. White noise or pink noise, there are large those knobs here. Oscillator mode, or you can go to your third oscillator then for using it as an LFO. So you have two LFOs instead of one LFO, and two oscillators instead of. But if you want to know more about the Mini Moog or the Model D, I have another video on my channel. You can check it out, so you can see what you have also on that synthesizer. And in this case, you have also a sequencer and a arpeggiator on this synth as an extra. You have a headphones jack. I think it's a mini jack. Sync in and out. That you can sync it with your Model D. If you want, you can sync it with another modular synth. And you have, of course, your MIDI in for your MIDI keyboard. And here above, you have your USB-C input. And what they put here on this synth, and they didn't put that on the Mother 32 from Moog, and is a knob, an on and off knob here. Fantastic. That's very good. You put that on a synth. That's one I like that you have this one on the synth. That's and also of course all those memory write, record, erase. That's for your arpeggiators, for your recording also. Here you have the poly mode, but they call it here poly. Even it's paraphonic instead of polyphonic. Unison mode, you can set all those three oscillated in unison. Octave, you can use the three all. Then the fifth, ring modulation and ring polymodulation. Then your range from 30 feet, 32 feet to 1 feet. So that's, I think, the synth. What do you have also from behind? There is also a picture. Nothing, no connections here. It's easy to have that here, the connections, but it's not always practice to have that here upstairs. So the knobs, they are the same. Yes, they are the same knobs, identical. So they're using the same knobs, even on this one. But it's small, and that's not always so practical. That was a little bit also price-wise, like I said, €100 here in Europe. I think the same price in the US. And for the rest, there is nothing more to say about this synth. The only thing that I know is, do I recommend this synth? For the sound, I say directly yes, and also for the feature that it has, certainly yes. So, is it as unstable as the Model D? Like I said, that was the only issue. That was also the only reason why I sold it. Not because the sound, because sound-wise and also the way it works, it was a fantastic synthesizer. But the stability of the oscillators was not okay. There are other videos from other channels that also comment about that, that it was not so stable. And I hope that this D Mini is stable and not like the Model D. So, and it's just €100. So, okay, it's €100 and it's small. So I think maybe buy me this synth. If it sounds okay, why not? Oh, I can tell you, and you can also see that on my videos. I had the Yamaha CS5, and that was my oldest synth of all those synths I have here. And I think it is 45 years old. Less than 5 minutes, and it was tuned and stayed tuned. And I'm honest, I can tell you it was less than, I think, 2-3 minutes. That's all that it takes. It was tuned. Also, that also I had before was the Prodigy, same thing. 2-5 minutes, and the CS5 15. I don't know. I had the CS5. It was in less than 5 minutes. Less, I think 2-3 minutes, and it was stable. And I think the Prodigy that I had also was 5 minutes, and yes, I know. And this one I have also no, the EX AP is has an auto tune, of course. The Prophet 5, no issues, but it's not old. But I know the CS5 was in less than 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and it was stable. The Prodigy also in 5 minutes it was stable, and they stayed stable also. What did I have also before? No, I think those two were the oldest one that I had, more than 40 years old, and they were stable. So not all the synths are so unstable, But I think the ARP, the Odyssey, the older versions, they are very unstable. I have here the ARP Odyssey also, but it's a remake from Korg, and it's also very stable. My MS-20 also very stable, and there are VCAs, so they are not VCOs. VCOs, not DCOs. So for those who don't know what the difference between a DCO and a DCO is an analog oscillator but controlled digital, and a VCO is just a voltage controlled oscillator. It's not controlled digital. That can go out of tune sometimes. It depends on the temperature and the room where you are sitting and playing. But I don't know if there is someone who has his opinion about this D Mini. What do you think? The positive is that you have lots for less money. That's the positive thing. The negative thing, it's small, of course. That keyboard, it's only, I think, made for changing the settings on your synth, from diving into the menu. That it's not a keyboard. I don't know if it's velocity sensitive and also aftertouch sensitive. I think so, because I hope so also. Normally it will be. Do I recommend it? I said yes, just for that price. Why not? Do I want to buy it? I think so. I have some room here, a little bit space that I have available for that, and I'm gonna use it switching with my Mother 32. And now I don't have any Behringer gear here in my studio, so why not buy me again a Behringer synth? I had I had 3 Behringers before, the Model D, my Odyssey, and also the DeepMind. DeepMind also was too complicated for me. Not too complicated, but I don't like complicated synthesizers. And this one is also a little bit. Is it maybe this issue also? That's a negative point, because it's so small. And you must always dive into that menus. Maybe that's also a negative point. And that's maybe positive on the Model D and the Mini Moog, of course, that you can go to all your settings directly, hands-on synth. This one is not a hands-on synth. For live, it's not so easy. So for live, if I want to use this one, is just for in the studio, and that's it. Not for live. For live, then it's better to use the Model D or the real Mini Moog, of course. For live, I think it's not as useful. I don't know, what do you think about how for this synth and grading this synth? I don't know. I cannot give a score for the synth because I don't have it, so I can put a score on this synth. The moment that I have it, I will try that and then make a video of that, and come back, of course, with my second opinion about this synth, and I'm going to give it a score. So I'm going to say thank you, Behringer, to make this little fantastic synth. Hopefully it will be also interesting sound-wise, and I'm sure it will be okay, 100%. Also those synths, like the sequencer on it and all, that will be okay. They nail it always, Behringer. But the stability of those oscillators, and of course, it's not a hands-on synth because there are lots of menus that you want to dive into. So, for all of those who came to my live stream, thank you very much. Also, Jet G Rivis, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Certainly, thank you for your opinion and also for the information that you are sharing with us. That's also and also thank you, El Charvo, for saying that there was no sound. That's the second time that it happens to me, that I'm starting the video without turning on my sound, but no problem. If you have some questions or other things, just leave it in the comment below or here in the chat. Thank you all. Take care. Say also be creative, and I'll see you later on another live stream. Goodbye.